Think Amazon is still the best place to sell online? Well, the numbers tell a different story. Amazon's referral fees now eat up 8 to 45% of a product's selling price. Factor in FBA fees, rising storage costs, skyrocketing advertising expenses up 50% year over year in many categories, and costly return handling, sellers are seeing their margins evaporate. According to Marketplace Pulse, the average Amazon seller now spends a staggering 61% of the revenue on Amazon-related fees alone before accounting for product costs or operating expenses. This cost structure has become unsustainable for many businesses, especially in competitive categories like electronics, home goods, and beauty products where margins are already razor thin. As a result, alternative platforms and direct-to-consumer models are becoming increasingly attractive. For example, Shopify merchants typically face total platform costs of just 5 to 7% of revenue, while specialized marketplaces like Etsy maintain relatively low fees at around 6.5% plus transaction costs. The shift away from Amazon isn't just about costs. It's about survival in an increasingly competitive e-commerce landscape. So in this video, we're going to talk about the best Amazon alternatives and what it takes to be successful today. The first and best alternative to Amazon is selling on your own online store. Now, whenever I bring up the idea of running your own website, people are immediately skeptical. After all, Amazon owns 40% of e-commerce. They're practically a monopoly. How can you possibly compete? How can you generate sales without Amazon's massive audience? Well, here's the thing. It's not only possible, it's happening. I run a 7-figure e-commerce store over at bumblebeelinens.com, and only a small fraction of my sales come from Amazon. Over the past several years, Amazon's questionable practices and repeated fee increases have driven sellers to diversify their sales channels, and the numbers show it is a smart move. In the US, DTC sales hit approximately $135 billion in 2023, are projected to grow to $161 billion in 2024, climbing to $187 billion by 2025, a 38% increase in just 2 years. At the same time, Amazon's marketplace is more crowded than ever, with over 9.7 million sellers competing globally as of 2024. Selling on your own site comes with some major advantages, and I'll share a few backed by numbers from my own online store. So first, running your own online store gives you complete control over your branding. You control the website design, logo, messaging, and the entire shopping experience. And the best part is that once someone lands on your site, there are no products competing against your own. On Amazon, it is a completely different story. Search for your own brand on Amazon, and I guarantee you that 75% of the results will be cheap, inferior quality knockoffs of your product, often sold at lower prices. And why is that? Because on Amazon, brand doesn't matter. Amazon deliberately hides your brand in teeny tiny font in the upper left corner so customers shop primarily based on price. And anytime you're competing strictly based on price, it's always going to be a race to the bottom. But with your own site, there's no pricing pressure. You set your prices and no other products are shown except your own. Also, competition on Amazon isn't just tough, it's downright dirty. If you sell a product that is even remotely popular, evil sellers are going to try to take you down. Over the years, I've had countless colleagues get review bombed with fake negative reviews. And Amazon's guilty until proven innocent policies make it easy for bad actors to file false copyright claims and get your account suspended. Recently, an 8-figure Amazon seller named Molson Hart had 126 of his products taken down on Amazon over Black Friday weekend because an evil Chinese seller maliciously filed a false claim for infringing on the trademark Viahart. But here's the thing, his company name is Viahart LLC. His seller name on Amazon is Viahart, and he owns the trademark Viahart, and it's in Amazon's brand registry. But when he complained to Amazon support, he just received a canned response explaining that all products using the term Viahart would be suspended. Now sure, Molson eventually got his listings back, but he lost tens of thousands of dollars in sales during the 48 hours he was suspended, right over Black Friday and Cyber Monday, the biggest sales weekend of the year. My student Amanda sells custom designed party supplies on Amazon and holds registered copyrights for all of her best-selling products. Yet, her listings are constantly suspended because Amazon blindly wields the ban hammer without doing any due diligence. While Amanda always wins these cases, every suspension costs her months of lost sales. What's frustrating is that these issues could easily be avoided if Amazon even took minimal steps to verify these claims, but they don't. Now, the worst case of malicious activity I've ever seen firsthand happened to my friend Kevin Williams and his brand Brush Hero. Kevin was making 8 figures selling his product on Amazon when a malicious seller started selling an inferior quality knockoff with identical packaging directly under his listing. And yes, Amazon allows this to happen. You can probably guess what happened next. The knockoff's horrific quality led to a flood of 1-star reviews on Kevin's listing. When he reported the counterfeit products, Amazon did absolutely nothing. Now, I've had Kevin on my podcast and I've linked the interview below, but here's the TLDR. Kevin has spent over $1 million in court fighting Amazon over this issue. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to start your own profitable online store and not be a slave to Amazon, sign up for my free 6-day e-commerce mini course below. It is 100% free and I guarantee you'll learn a ton. This brings me to another significant advantage of selling on your own website. You save a ton of money on fees. According to Marketplace Pulse, Amazon now collects about 61% of a seller's revenue on average, up from 40% just 5 years ago. In contrast, when you run your own online store, fees are typically only around 5 to 6% of your revenue. But the biggest win of having your own online store is the ability to build lasting relationships with your customers and get repeat business. On platforms like Amazon, you don't own the relationship with the shopper. They're loyal to Amazon and not you. With your own store, you can connect directly with your customers, send them emails, offer loyalty perks, and create personalized deals that keep them coming back. It's not just about making more sales, it's about building a group of loyal fans who love your brand and help spread the word. Take my store, bumblebeelinens.com, as an example. We primarily sell linens for weddings, and you'd think our store wouldn't get much repeat business. After all, how many weddings does one person have? Even with America's 50% divorce rate, you're talking at most like 2 sales, right? Well, surprisingly, our repeat customer rate is only 12%, but those 12% make up over 36% of our revenue. The secret to profitability is identifying what I call the whales for your store, your highest value customers, and selling to them repeatedly. Just for fun, here are some numbers from my online store. Our average order value is about $60. And if you look at my stats, the majority of our customers, or about 46%, spend less than half of our AOV. Meanwhile, only 10% of our customers spend $120 or 2x our AOV. But when you look at the revenue, it's eye-opening. Those 10% of our customers are responsible for almost 50% of our sales. Meanwhile, those cheap customers only make up 12.6%. So here's what we do. For customers who buy an unusually large amount of product from us, we give them a call, and this is what we say. We notice that you bought 10 dozen napkins from us. Are you by chance a wedding planner or event planner? Here's a special coupon code and a dedicated rep. Whenever you need anything, we'll make sure it gets delivered on time. And boom, with a simple phone call, we now have a repeat customer that buys in bulk for life. You cannot do any of this on Amazon. On Amazon, every sale is a one-off sale and you don't have your customers' information. Heck, you don't even have their names because Amazon hides that from you. When you look at the numbers, running your own DTC brand just makes sense. With direct control over customer relationships and the ability to build a loyal audience, you will find more long-term success by selling on your own branded website. And trust me, it is a much more sustainable strategy. I've been running my online handkerchief store for 18 years now, primarily selling on my own website. If you're worried about inventory and fulfillment, you can easily partner with a 3PL or a third-party fulfillment house anywhere in the world to essentially do what Amazon FBA does at a fraction of the cost. Now, if you're looking for another Amazon alternative, Walmart is also worth mentioning. Walmart's e-commerce arm has grown 23% year over year, but despite these gains, Amazon's e-commerce market share is still about 7.5 times larger. Now, while I don't personally sell on Walmart myself, I have many colleagues who do, and for the most part, their Walmart sales only represent about 5 to 7% of their overall sales compared to Amazon. That said, Walmart is growing rapidly and offers its own version of FBA to store and fulfill your orders. But as of now, Walmart remains small compared to Amazon. Another downside to Walmart is its reputation as a discount brand, which means price is still the primary driver of visibility and sales. If you've maxed out your potential on Amazon, it is worth giving Walmart a try, but just keep your expectations in check. Another general e-commerce marketplace to consider is eBay. eBay is an excellent platform for selling both new and used products, and it charges significantly lower fees. There's no monthly subscription fee, and you can sell items through auctions, making it ideal for unique, rare, or collectible items like sports memorabilia or trading cards. One major advantage of eBay is that it doesn't compete with its own sellers like Amazon does by creating private label products. I've seen so many friends get their products knocked off by Amazon's own private label brands. Take my friend Carol, for example. Her emu oil product was copied by Amazon, who then sold their own version for 30% less, and to make matters worse, Amazon started running ads for their knockoff directly on her product listing, which tanked her sales. In comparison, the competition on eBay is far less cutthroat, making it a great option for diversifying your sales channels. But that said, keep in mind that eBay is roughly 57 times smaller than Amazon in terms of e-commerce revenue. The next category of Amazon alternatives to consider are B2B marketplaces like Faire. Faire is an online wholesale marketplace that connects small retailers with independent brands and makers. It's basically a one-stop shop where store owners can find unique, curated products to stock their shelves, while brands get a chance to showcase their goods to a global audience. So basically, Faire allows you to sell your stuff wholesale to other businesses. If you're a maker or a small business, Faire handles the boring stuff, like billing, collections, and logistics, so you can focus on your products. Now, if you sell home decor products, Wayfair is an excellent online marketplace to list your products as well. And finally, if you sell handmade or vintage products, Etsy is still a viable option as well. Now, while none of these platforms can individually match Amazon's size and reach, together they can provide a strong foundation to diversify your sales. Even if you think Amazon is the only game in town, diversifying where you sell is critical to staying competitive. Platforms like Shopify, BigCommerce, and WooCommerce make it easier than ever to run your own store, while niche marketplaces help you reach targeted audiences. The tools are all there. It's never been more achievable to break free from Amazon and build a thriving business on your own terms. And remember, most of us aren't aiming to create the next billion-dollar company. For many, making a few $100,000 or even $1 million a year is enough to achieve financial freedom and live life on your own terms. But if you're still not convinced that you need to diversify away from Amazon, make sure you watch this video here about 5 dirty tactics Amazon is using to raise prices and screw sellers.